This is Dawn Eden for Videowave, and tonight I am very happy to be downstairs at the Fort at the Sidewalk Cafe talking to Bill Lloyd, who just played here to promote his new album, Standing on the Shoulders of Giants, on Koch Records. Now tell me, Bill, after being on Eastside Digital, which put out your second album, Set to Pop, what was it about Koch Records that made you want to switch?
It's a real easy answer. A friend of mine named John Porter is now their creative director. He was running it, and I've worked with John for years. So, main reason is the people there. So it's a real easy answer.
Now, Bill, for the people out there who don't know, you've had a very successful career as a country artist with Foster and Lloyd, and as a country songwriter. And you also were part of a sort of alternative country supergroup called the Sky Kings, right?
Yeah, that was myself and Rusty Young from Poco and John Cowan from Newgrass Revival, and for a while Pat Simmons from the Doobie Brothers too.
And you had one album on, what was it, Warner Brothers?
We had one album that was unreleased on RCA and one that was unreleased on Warner Brothers. Although we did have some singles on Warner Brothers come out. We had a video and all that stuff.
Are there any efforts by people to license that material from those labels?
No, I think it was just they're very expensive records, so they're not something that a small label could go and try to promote. And plus, they were made kind of for the country radio market, and you know, so.
Now, would you say that your first, even though you are very involved in country and love it, would you say that as far as music you like to play, your first love is the kind of wonderful guitar melodic pop that you do?
I mean that's what I gravitate towards probably first, and then kind of a rootsy thing gets mixed in with it sometimes. But yeah, I love that stuff. You know, growing up listening to the Beatles and all the 60s radio stuff, that's still a big source of inspiration. So
now that to me, and again this is for the benefit of the viewers, that to me is one of the things that makes you most interesting and unique. The fact that you've got this background of being into, you know, the Byrds, Sweetheart of the Rodeo, and Poco, and a lot of American country and country rock, but then you're also, you know, in some ways equally into, or at least you equally respect stuff like Todd Rundgren and the Move and much more power pop type stuff. Do people ever tell you that they wish you'd make up your mind?
Well, you know, only business people who have a stake in one side or the other side, I guess. And I just like doing what I like, you know. And you know, probably my next record might be lean a little more rootsy, maybe. I don't know. It just sort of depends on what happens, I guess, you know. I like both, though, you know.
And one thing that I like about your recordings as a pop artist is that you don't make like really drastic artistic shifts. People who like your first album will still like your third album. You've been very consistent.
Well, thank you. That's a real kind thing to say. I hope that holds true. I mean, you know, technically there's so many changes and so much stuff you learn in 10 years' time. My first album came out 10 years ago, and I'm just now getting around to my third solo album. But you know, and I've learned a lot about recording and songwriting since then too. But I hope there's a consistency, you know.
Now we always worry about our pop artists like being like starving and living with their mothers, because pop music, the kind of pop that we're talking about, doesn't generally make people a lot of money. And I'm wondering, you know, if it's not too personal, are you making a decent living from the songwriting royalties that have come in from your country hits?
That's what's supported me so far. You know, and continues to right now. But we'll see. You know, I mean, it could change any day. But right now, everything's fine. You know, it's been good.
I'm glad to hear it. Now, you've been spearheading, or one of the artists spearheading the Nash Pop scene. What's it called, Nashville Pop?
Well, yeah, there's a CD out called Nash Pop, which is just it's a compilation CD of a bunch of bands in Nashville that embrace the more melodic pop style we're talking about. It's a non-country thing. It's just a bunch of bands from that area who have that in common. And our friend Bruce Brodeen, who's actually sitting on the pool table right over there, he put together for his label this CD called Nash Pop, and it features a lot of those bands.
For anyone interested in picking up that CD or any of Bill Lloyd's solo CDs, the address for Not Lame Records is www.notlame.com. Simple as that. Now, I haven't seen your webpage. Do you have one?
There was one that was created for me by this guy about 3 or 4 years ago. He was with a magazine called Oddities, and they did one for me, but I'm getting ready to have a new one with the new album, and it's going to be a little more elaborate. The other one just is something that a guy did sort of as a favor, out of the kindness. And so there is one that's out there, but it's not very elaborate.
Oh, I see. Now, tell me, what were the last few records or CDs that you bought with your own money, as opposed to promos?
Burt Bacharach, Elvis Costello, the new album they've got together. A guy named Bruce Robison out of Nashville. It's he's married to Kelly Willis, and they have a video on CMT right now called "Angry All the Time" that just slayed me. So I bought that record. Miles Davis reissue. I can't remember which one it was. I think it was
Kind of Blue.
Kind of Blue, yeah. That was it. It was $7.99. It was great. Good. It was a good bargain. And,
yeah, a friend of mine who works in a record store says that is always one of the consistent sellers.
Yeah, and it has like a bonus track on it too. So.
Well, keeping in mind that this is going to be repeated and repeated until the year 2010, sort of like those cookies that you get in your when you're visiting the web. This will persist until. Keeping that in mind, do you think you'll be coming back to New York like next year, 1999?
Yeah, the record's coming out in February of '99, and yeah, I hope to come back and play this time with a band. Tonight I played just by myself, electric guitar, and it was a lot of fun. But I love playing with a band, and I've got a bunch of good guys that play with me in Nashville that are they're hot pickers. And
are they known from any other local pop bands? Or?
A guy named Pat Buchanan he's got a band called Idle Jets. They're on that Nash Pop thing, and he's like a world-class guitar player. He's played with Hall & Oates and Cyndi Lauper and and Cameo and all these different bands, and I mean he's really an amazing guitar player, and he plays with me. And the bass player played with Radney and I years ago.
Radney Foster.
Yeah, when we were doing Foster and Lloyd. Our bass player Byron House he's out with Emmylou Harris right now, so they're all staying real busy. So that's one of the reasons I couldn't get them for tonight. Everybody's really busy. So.
Oh yeah, because right now is during the CMJ.
Yeah, and this is touring season in Nashville for any touring musicians, and also, these guys cost money, and since the record hasn't come out yet, I just wanted to play by myself tonight. So.
Well, thank you so much. I've been talking with Bill Lloyd. There you are. Whose new album coming out in February will be called "Standing on the Shoulders of Giants" on the Koch label. Koch. Does Koch have a distributor other than itself?
It is its own distributor. They're really good, actually. One of the best independent distributors.
Oh, okay. So you should be able to find that pretty much anywhere at the indie stores as well as the big change. Well, thank you so much for taking some time.
Really good to see you again.
Oh, it's really good seeing you too. This has been Dawn Eden for Videowave.